Alright, hello everyone, this is Growthy406 here, and today, well, probably more likely this morning since I'm recording this quite a bit later in the day, we got the new Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary trailer. I don't know what's in this. I've tried to keep off everything just so I could get a good, here's my thoughts on it and everything. I did flick over to my Google News by accident a couple times. Just got a split-second view. I did see something that said Kingdom Hearts 4. I don't know if that was confirming anything. I don't know if that was somebody complaining about it not being announced. So I'm pretty much all blind to it otherwise. So, assuming this is all going to load correctly, and I'm hoping I got all my knobs turned correctly. It's been a while. We're going to see what this is all about. So let's... 7 minutes. That's probably enough time for a couple things, honestly. What I'm expecting, probably just a little bit about Dark Road, and sort of the wrap-up to that. If we do see something from Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm guessing it's going to be pretty minimal. We're probably going to see like something akin to the original Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers, where, they're just the one with Sora picking up the Ericus's Keyblade, or the little interaction between Ericus and Xehanort. I'm not expecting too much from this. Honestly, I think we're still a little ways out from Kingdom Hearts 4, although it's been, I think, about 5 years or so since Kingdom Hearts 3, so who knows, maybe. So let's give it a whirl. This logo. Alright, yeah, starting with Dark Road. So there's some Birth by Sleep era stuff, and then back to the past. I really wonder how they're going to actually package this now that it's, like, not exactly a game. I got some other students they found, maybe? Some of the missing ones? Got some armored characters and their master. I think his name's Odin or something about that. Oh, the master showing up. Okay. Pretty much what we expected from that. Okay. August, okay. It's a little farther out than I thought it was going to be. Oh, they're going to remaster this whole thing? That would be a great idea. Oh no, they're actually showing 4. Or something. Hearts nurtured it. So this looks like it's in Scala. This is another, like, missing link. Oh, it's another mobile game, okay. That makes more sense. It looks neat. Okay, so it's gonna be like an action game. Oh, it's little trophies, okay. So it's like, instead of the medals, it's gonna be these, I guess. Okay. That looks fun. I wonder if there'll be like a console and a mobile port for it. It looks like they're using some of the 3 environments. This looks more like a console thing here. Of course, you know the way Unreal scales nowadays. I couldn't tell you. I wonder if actually, we saw some other characters. I wonder if this is gonna be like character customization. Okay, we got full 3D brain there. So this looks like it's picking up right after the finale of Union Cross. Or it's missing link. Android, iOS, closed beta 22. Okay. I mean, it's more sort of continuation. The Lost Master arc. So this must be 4 then. Definitely looks like Japan. It looks really nice just from this. The heart resides within the soul, which is turned guided by fate to its rightful place. Oh, that looks real nice. I wonder if this is running on UE5. That'd be really nice if this was running on UE5. Oh, was that Sora? Oh wow, he rendered in like the full Final Fantasy style. That looks. It both looks weird and. Oh hey, Strelitzia. I wasn't expecting to see her. You arrived in this world 7 days ago. 7 days. Is that a heart? Okay, I guess it's a dark side. It just looks different. Wow, that looks really good. That looks really good. Oh, it looks like the boss from 3. What's it called? Dark Inferno. So he's got sort of the horns. It's like a more realistic dark side. This definitely seems so much more rooted in Final Fantasy than it does Disney in this case, which is, I think, a big reason why we didn't have much Final Fantasy in Kingdom Hearts 3, is they were kind of wanting to wrap up that arc, possibly. Okay, we got flow motion back. Oh, that's neat. That's cool. I like that. I love grappling hooks in games. They're always a fun time. Okay, yeah. Really doubling down on the big cinematic sort of quick time event things, which, let's be honest, it was a lot of fun in Kingdom Hearts 2, it was a lot of fun in Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm glad they're sticking with that kind of stuff. Oh, it's probably the master in, I don't know, Lushu? I don't know. Somebody else in the cloak. Kingdom Hearts 4. Man, the logo is actually really sharpened up there. Oh, it's very angular. I wonder if we'll be seeing like this from like 2 views. We'll have like the Disney side and the Final Fantasy side. Because this looks a lot more like 3 here. Is that Hades? Sounds kind of like Hades. Magic in the making. Yeah, no time soon, probably. Okay, neat. Looks great. You know, I'm not like popping my eyes out about it. It looks amazing. I'm not the most, you know, outwardly enthused about it because it was sort of something we saw coming, but it definitely looks amazing. I love how they're sort of visually now, there's sort of the distinct visual identity between the Final Fantasy and the Disney sides of things, and now how they're sort of separating them. And I think it'll be interesting if we see like one side of the story being, you know, we saw Donald and Goofy looking for Sora, I guess, and what appears to be the underworld. And they're still very much looking like their Kingdom Hearts 3. They're not like Final Fantasy style, sort of like how we saw in Pirates in 3. They had their sort of a more realistic look to them, as well as Sora. But even then, it still kind of had that Disney aesthetic to it. Whereas in this one, we see it much more realistic, much more of a sort of Final Fantasy 15 aesthetic, I think, or versus 13 if we really want to get into it with the whole Yozora thing. Which we didn't see any Yozora in here, which was, I guess, both kind of to be expected. I kind of wonder if it's going to be sort of like a role reversal thing where we have Yozora in the Disney worlds and Sora in the Final Fantasy worlds type thing. I think that would be interesting because we saw them both in the final world there at the end of Remind. That'd be interesting. But I wonder if, because Charlitzia said there briefly that it was the underworld, or like the afterlife to them. I wonder if that's a big reason why Donald and Goofy are meeting with Hades, trying to find their way to get to Sora. And I think it would be an interesting, back in my fan fiction days, I always had this idea of Pirates 3 being sort of a bridge where you could have Sora die, like the world ends with you, some other like death related worlds have those kind of fun interactions, while you have on the other side your Riku Kairi looking for him and trying to find their way into the dead worlds and using sort of Pirates 3 as that bridge into there, because like have them go over the ship while have Sora and Jack in the locker type thing. I think that could be. I thought that was always sort of a fun thing that could have happened. Obviously, it didn't quite play out that way with Kingdom Hearts 3, but I definitely think something similar could happen here, whereas Donald and Goofy going to Hades, and I'm not too familiar with the Japanese voice actor, but just looking at, like these particle effects look very much sort of like the ones that were shown for Hades in 3, and if you look sort of here, it's changing from the blue to the red, like he does when he gets angry. So I definitely think that could definitely be part of that there. But yeah, this is looking great. Let me see if I can get a good. Let me see if I can find a shot of Sora here. Yeah, but you can definitely see he doesn't quite. It's not spiking up his hair right here. It's much more sort of subdued. And I think if you look at pictures of like Noctis from 15, this is definitely much more Final Fantasy. And you see his eyes aren't quite as big. They're much more realistic. Much more realistic skin tone. He looks much more like a human being, less like a cartoon. And do we get a good shot of his shoes? Because I think, yeah, like these kind of look a little big, but these are just clearly sneakers. So like even his clothes are very much more realistic than sort of the goofy Mickey Mouse inspired stuff. But yeah, this looks gorgeous. I definitely like the sort of reimagining of the dark side here. Yeah, and like it's kind of hard to tell here because it's sort of pixelated and whatnot. I'm just grabbing random frames here, and I'm sure if there's like a direct media version, it's probably in like 4K and you can tell better. But there's when it's playing, you can tell just like the texturing of sort of like the fibers weaving together. You can kind of see it over here on the wing. Oh, that's gorgeous. And you kind of see the fibers like grabbing the car here. It's not just sort of this blobby plastic darkness that we kind of saw in the first Kingdom Hearts games. But yeah. But that's mostly been talking about here on 4. But I missed it. Was there a subtitle? Or was it just Kingdom Hearts 4? Just Kingdom Hearts 4. That's probably the way it should be. But we're getting into Dark Road. We see some new people here. I believe, unless I am just. I haven't. I need to go back to Dark Road here, but I think these are some of the other students from there. But I need to go back and rewatch Dark Road, and probably need to go watch Union Cross again because I continuously forget everything in there because there's so much. But I'm glad we're kind of getting a wrap up on that. Sort of getting a wrap up on Xehanort's life. And this new mobile game looks much more like what I would want out of a Kingdom Hearts mobile game. I just noticed the statue up here looks very much like a cloaked figure, like an Organization 13 cloak. I don't want to read too much into that because I could 100% be very wrong on that, but just interesting to note since that was stopped there. It definitely looks like it's using like Unreal scaled down to your mobile resolutions. I wonder if we're going to get custom characters here because I believe we got here. I also saw, I think, oh, no, that's the statue. I keep forgetting what the frame by frame keys are on YouTube. Anyway, I think we saw a girl character in one of these. It at least looks like there's like some sort of multiplayer here because we see multiple characters here. I think this would be a great game to grab a gamepad on a phone with. Hopefully, Windows 11 will have Android support by the time this comes out, so we can actually just play them on PC or any other kind of Android device. I bet Steam Deck will have some sort of Android implementation running on it at some point. But yeah, this looks fun. Again, I don't think everyone's like super blown away about mobile games, but this looks very action oriented. It's not just like your standard flick a gotcha like the medals were, which Union Cross was. It was enjoyable. I don't want to say it wasn't, but it was very much, hey, buy these JPEGs and watch them do things. But this looks a lot more interactive, and obviously it's going to be gotcha because you see the little the trophies they're summoning here. Those are obviously going to be sort of the gotcha replacement in this game, but it looks a lot more fun. And if we look sort of this vertical kind of one, we have the sort of city exploration, which I love city exploration games like where you can just like wall run and jump around a city. And we just kind of see a little more of Scala here. And like there's skyscrapers. And like this is a much more modern city than I think we originally saw when it was introduced. Because it looked like there's a park area. I mean, it did look fairly modern, but there was also sort of this. It also kind of felt older. And this may not be Scala for all we know. This may be another world that the Keyblade person is visiting here. Though it does look like the Disney worlds are back in it. Because if we look here, this is very clearly Kingdom of Corona from 3. This is very much the same environment. So it looks like we will be visiting Disney worlds in it, if nothing else. Yeah, here's the other character I was talking about. So it looks like there will be some character customization and some sort of multiplayer aspect. And it looks like the Keyblade actually has like a bulb, like it's more made for magic. That's interesting. And they all kind of have this, I want to say like a scouting sort of aesthetic to them. With the hats and whatnot. And I forget what the guy at the end of Union Cross is who meets up with Brain. I forget what his name is. I'm guessing he's going to be sort of the guy dispatching missions or whatnot. Or maybe he's just another NPC in this thing. But I definitely think he'll be sort of in this. And obviously we saw sort of here. We actually get our first full 3D look at Brain. So I'm wondering if this is going to kind of fill in what happens between the period we see him waking up in Scala versus the period where we see him as Lucio. I wonder if that's something, or maybe there's been some sort of out of body experience, like this is just his soul, something like that. There's some questions there to be answered, and I think this is probably going to be that game that answers those. But I'm really curious how these are all going to kind of connect, and it looks like this is going to be the game that kind of finally wraps up the sort of connections between the Dark Seeker arc, as it were, and the Age of Fairy Tales, and then into the Lost Master arc, as they're calling it now. Here, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, so we finally get Kingdom Hearts 4, which I think everyone was kind of expecting, but it's good to have confirmation that it's actually in the works. I don't expect this next year. Well, maybe late next year. I can see this being like November next year. I could also see it being March 2024. That's kind of where I'm aiming this, and I could 100% expect there could be a delay. So I wouldn't get like too hyped about it right yet. Obviously, this is more of the game shown off than I thought there was going to be. In all honesty, I think we were going to get some sort of tease, but I think this did and this is sort of on point with sort of those initial Twilight Town trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3, where it showed him like fighting the Wave of Darkness in Twilight Town. But we definitely got a good. Let me see, where did the 4 trailer start? Here it was. So we're here about 4 minutes in, so a good 3 minutes of footage. That's not bad, especially for them technically revealing 2 games before that. But yeah, I think we got a good amount of stuff here. Yeah, there's Sora. But no, I think this is great. Looking forward to it, definitely. Gosh, I bought Elden Ring and put it in, started playing. I'm like, gosh, I wish these were Kingdom Hearts controls. So I am very much looking forward to a new Kingdom Hearts game. I've always enjoyed them, and I think this next one looks to be even better than the previous few. And it looks like, I didn't touch on it, but we did actually see some interface stuff here. Looks like we're still using the 3 command systems. I imagine that's going to be pretty much the same. I'm not even sure if this changed at all. It may just be like sticking there, because like if you look through here, he's obviously casting magic and stuff, and I don't think I think they just popped a overlay on here, because like we don't see any grand magic. We don't see any magic changing when he's casting these things. So unless these are all Keyblade abilities, which they could be, I would at least think we'd have some sort of change in those if they were actually gameplay. But it could just be a bunch of QuickTime events. I'm not sure. But yeah, those are my initial thoughts on this. I'm going to go read up on Twitter now and watch everyone else's reactions, trying to piece all this together, because I'm sure I take pride in knowing what's going on in this story, but at the same time, I can be clueless on some of the details and stuff. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think, because I'm just yearning to talk about Kingdom Hearts at this point. So, yeah, let me know. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please do all the YouTube nonsense, likes and all that nonsense. And hopefully we'll have some more Kingdom Hearts in the future. I'd love to do a playthrough of these games when they come out, that type of thing. So if you want to see that, let me know. Anyway, thanks. This is Growthy406, and I hope you have a good one.